Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to my channel Biology Assess. So we are solving uh, January 2024 Unit 1 Question A. The types of lipid consumed in the diet can affect the health of individuals. Okay, so the type of lipid consumed in the diet can affect the health of individuals. Like whatever I consume, it can affect me. Tropical spurs is a disorder that limits the absorption of nutrients in the body. Dangerous. Consumption of unsaturated lipids has been proposed as a cause of tropical spurs. The diagram shows part of an unsaturated lipid. What is unsaturated lipids actually? Unsaturated lipids causes carbon-carbon double bond. Okay? Just remember, keep that in mind always. Complete the diagram to show one possible structure of a fatty acid side chain of an unsaturated lipid. Okay. So it does not say that you need to draw a perfect or a correct one, but a possible one. Like what does an unsaturated lipids or a fatty acid chain can contain? A carbon-carbon double bond, and a carbon and all the carbons bonded with H. So a carbon can have 4 bonds. Okay, 4 bonds. We need to just keep that in mind that a carbon can have 4 bonds. And so when a carbon have double bond in it or is attached to another carbon, we need to place the number of hydrogen ion according to its bond number. Okay, so let's see the answer and the question. Okay, it is rest of the molecule, and this is the fatty acid side chain. So as I said before, here should be one thing common is that a carbon-carbon double bond should be given and the hydrogen molecule. So let's see this one. This carbon has 4 bonds. Fine. This carbon also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is that. We cannot give a double bond here. Why? Because this is already bonded with oxygen, right? It 3 bonds, right? So we have only 1 bond left. That's why it's only single bond and not double bond. Okay. Let's see the next question. Consumption of high levels of cholesterol is associated with atherosclerosis. In the development of atherosclerosis, lesions form in the coronary artery, and these develop into atheromas, the plaque. Okay. In an investigation, one group of primates was fed a diet supplement with cholesterol and saturated fatty acids. Okay, so between saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid, which one is good? The bad fat we know as the saturated fatty acid, and the unsaturated fatty acid we describe it as a good fat, or it's good to our health, while the saturated is not good to our health. Why? Because it does not contain any carbon-carbon double bond. So the unsaturated contains carbon-carbon double bond, so it can be broken down more easily than the saturated one. Okay. A second group was fed a diet supplemented with cholesterol and unsaturated fatty acids. The primates were fed this diet from a young age and then monitored over a period of 60 months. It's a long experiment. Primates are a high order of mammals that include monkeys. Okay, so let's see the question. Oh, it's a graph. The results of the investigation are shown in the graph. Saturated lipids and unsaturated lipids. Okay. So the percentage of surface of areas covered in lesions. Okay, this is the percentage of the surface of area arteries covered in lesions, and this is the age or months of the creature. Okay, so 16 months. In 16 months, the unsaturated is low, where the saturated is low, but unsaturated is more. 32 months, vice versa. In 60 months, the saturated one is way too much higher than the unsaturated one. Okay. Okay, so let's see the another graph. Percentage of primates with atherosclerosis, month slash age. 16 months, the saturated is always higher than the unsaturated. Like in 60, the unsaturated is much more low than of 32 one. Okay, so let's see the question. I hope the question is another graph. I'm so sorry. Mean area of atheroma after 60 months. Males and females. Females is 0. For the when in case of the like where the females have intaken the unsaturated fatty acids and cholesterol, the females have a 0 area of atheroma after 60 months. The males have a number, it's more, and the females here with saturated still have less than the males with unsaturated, and the males with unsaturated have a high one. Okay, standard deviation. Okay, so it's a question now. Calculate the mean rate of increase in the surface of arteries covered in lesions from 16 to 60 months in the primates. So we just need to calculate the rate of increase in the surface. Okay, it's just easy. 1.136. Calculate the ratio of primates with atherosclerosis given saturated lipids to those given unsaturated lipids. So we just need to put a number and make a ratio out of it. Okay, like from the graph 2. So the answer can be 1.5:1. These primates were fed a diet supplement with cholesterol and either saturated lipid or unsaturated lipids. Deduce the effect of these two diets on the development of lesions in the coronary arteries, atherosclerosis, and atheroma. Okay. So the graph 1 shows the surface area of the arteries. Okay. And the graph 2 shows atherosclerosis, and the graph 3 shows the area of atheroma. So we are going to describe each graph one after another. Okay. So from the graph 1, which have the surface area of arteries, we can make conclusions that the arteries have less lesions with both lipids. We just need to describe what we're seeing in the graph. Okay, see it, like describe the graph and explain it. Okay, this will be enough for this question. Like for the conclusions we can make from graph 1 is that arteries have lesions with both lipids. Percentage of surface covered in lesions increase with time for both saturated and unsaturated lipids. Overall increase is greater over time with saturated lipid. Okay, then types of lipid in diet does influence the percentage. Like we need to explain why this is happening along with the graph. Like whatever we're seeing in the graph, we need to describe the graph one after another, and we need to explain why it is happening with that graph. Okay, for 6 mark of question. Okay, so let's see the answer without wasting time. Graph 1, surface area of arteries. Conclusion: arteries have lesions with both lipids. Percentage of surface area, surface covered in lesions increases with time for both saturated and unsaturated lipids. Overall increases in is greater over time with saturated lipid. Type of lipid in dyes does influence the percentage of arteries. Like what we can see from the graph, that the type of lipid we're having has an influence on our health, right? Like the unsaturated fatty acid is more good than of saturated fatty acid. Okay. Data may not be valid as no experiment details here. Graph 2, atherosclerosis. What are the conclusions we can make from it is that atherosclerosis occurs with both lipids. It happens with both lipids, but the atherosclerosis is higher with saturated than in all ages of group. In the graph, we can see it, right? Percentage increases with age for saturated, and age has a less clear effect with unsaturated. Data may not be valid as no experience. Graph 3, area of atheroma. Conclusions: atheroma are larger in both males and females with saturated lipids than unsaturated lipids. Males have atheromas of greater area than females, whichever lipid they are given. Sex is an influence and area as well. Data are likely to be significant because error bars do not overlap. Here, as I say, the error bars, it does not overlap, so it shows the significance of the data. Male data more variable. Okay, so let's see question 5. Discuss the ethical issues relating to the use of primates and other animals in investigations such as this one. It is more valid to do experiments on animal than human. Let's see the question's answer. It is unethical because may cause pain, harm, or discomfort. It is cruel. The animal may die. The animal should not be kept in captivity. Like as I said, why it is unethical? Because every life matters, but it is more ethical to do experiments on animals than of human. Okay, so animals are it's unable to consent. The animals don't give us consent, like, yeah, do experiment on me. The humans can do that if they are in need of money. The ethical, it is more ethical than experimenting on humans. Primates are more similar to humans than other animals, might improve human slash animal health in future. So this is the end of question 8. Thank you so much. Bye bye.